Mahua Moitra expelled from parliament. Her conduct was immoral. Indecent. Mahua Moitra expulsion. Mrs. Moitra, 49, is accused of taking bribes, including 2 crore in cash and luxury gift items from businessman Darshan Hiranandani. Trinamool Congress leader Mahua Moitra has been expelled from the Lok Sabha following an ethics committee report into the cash for queried charges against her. Mrs. Moitra, 49, was accused of taking bribes, including 2 crore in cash and luxury gift items, from businessman Darshan Hiranandani, in exchange for asking questions critical of the government in parliament. Mrs. Moitra was also accused of surrendering login credentials to her personal and confidential account on the parliamentary website, so Mr. Hiranandani could post questions directly. A fiery critic of the Modi government, Mrs. Moitra had denied the bribery charges, but admitted to sharing the login details. After a tempestuous discussion and voice vote, Mr. Birla said, "This House accepts the conclusions of the committee that MP Mahua Moitra's conduct was immoral and indecent. So it is not appropriate for her to continue as an MP." Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, who is also Mrs. Moitra's party boss, called the expulsion unacceptable and said that vendetta politics of the BJP had killed democracy. Mahua will win the battle. People will give justice. They, BJP, will be defeated in the next election, Mrs. Banerjee said, drawing battle lines, if more were needed, before next year's general election. Hours earlier, the Ethics Committee presented its report and nearly 500-page tome in the House, triggering a furious row between the ruling BJP and the opposition, including Mrs. Moitra's party. In the brief discussion that followed, apoplectic opposition MPs demanded more time to study the material and fought for Mrs. Moitra to be allowed to speak. However, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla refused permission, citing the 2005 expulsion of 10 MPs, including 6 from the BJP caught in a similar controversy. Mrs. Moitra, however, spoke to reporters outside Parliament after her expulsion and said the Ethics Committee broke every rule. "Tomorrow, CBI will be sent to my home to harass me." The CBI has opened an inquiry in the allegations against Mrs. Moitra. The Ethics Committee report against Mrs. Moitra noted allegations of accepting illegal gratification are clearly established and undeniable, and that taking gifts from a businessman to whom she handed over login details amounts to a quid pro quo, unbecoming of an MP and is unethical conduct. On the point Mrs. Moitra accepted cash as part of the bribes, the report called for the government to criminally investigate and unearth the money trail, for which it said it does not have expertise. The Ethics Committee's final recommendation was that Mahua Moitra, MP, may be expelled from the membership of the 17th Lok Sabha. It also called for a legal institutional inquiry by the government, in view of unethical, heinous, and criminal conduct of MT Mahua Moitra. Listen to the latest songs only on JioSaavn. Calm. This morning, as she walked into Parliament, a typically fierce Mrs. Moitra paused only to tell reporters, "Maya Durga a gai hai ab, dekenj. Javnash manujay parshatahai, faithful vivek marjalatahai, Maya Durga has come. Now we will see."